Hi, gang. Have you ever made a decision in your life and feel that you made a mistake with that decision and wish that you could go back in time and change it? Well, some things you actually can. Some things you can change and go back. Maybe not necessarily in time, but you can go back to whatever it was. And what I'm talking about is my weight loss plan. As you may remember, I had said that more or less I was going back to the way down, and tell you what, I feel guilty as heck about even deciding that. Seriously. And I have not peacefully been able to eat again in the day. It is eating me up alive. And it wasn't too very long ago that I had said that my body doesn't need very much food. And that is so true. So I watch almost every bit of Taking Down Fat with C-Dub. I watch almost every one of his videos. Some of the videos that he does I'm not into, like when he does a collab or interview with somebody. But when he gives information and techniques and advice, those are what I'm into, and those are the ones that I watch. So I watched 2 different videos today of his. One being about how that intermittent fasting helps with inflammation. And that's true, it does. As he was talking about, like when you work out and you're so sore, your muscles are so sore, but with intermittent fasting, your muscles aren't sore so much afterwards. And that's true. And that's something I hadn't considered, but it is. I used to, when I would walk so many miles, I would be so sore the next day that I couldn't exercise again. I couldn't go walking again. But with intermittent fasting, I could go right back and walk again the next day, just as many miles as I did the day before. And I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. And there's other factors about the intermittent fasting. Knowing that my body is physically changing. Like, for instance, that my thyroid medication. And this is what I was thinking earlier today, as far as it goes with my thyroid medication. When the doctor had me on Nature-Throid, he had me on 130s. And when he had to put me on Synthroid because they was no longer selling Nature-Throid, he put me on a higher dosage. Now he's got me on even a lower dosage than I was on the Nature-Throid. So I believe very much that intermittent fasting is healing my thyroid so that, well, more or less repairing it. Only the Lord can heal, but I believe that the intermittent fasting is repairing my thyroid, and God is using that. He's doing that through intermittent fasting. And I honestly believe that as long as I intermittent fast, by the end of this year, I'll no longer be taking thyroid medication, and that would be absolutely terrific. Positively terrific. So, that's another thing about intermittent fasting. And then the other video that I had watched today from C-Dub is the 10 things that we can relate to as intermittent fasters. And that is like he said that it gets to the point that you don't want to eat, and there's other things that I'm more stuck on to the inflammation and healing part. But anyway, the 10 factors about it. And the one thing that really stuck out in my mind when I was watching the video about the 10 things that intermittent fasters understand is just not needing to eat. And I thought about the time that I went to the Chinese buffet with my in-laws, and I just ate. And I sat there with just a glass of water, and I was fine. They were eating, and even the Chinese smells was around me, and I wasn't even tempted to eat. I was fine. And then another time, right before we went on vacay, and we went to the Dairy Queen. Once again, I got myself a cup of water, and I watched my husband eat a brownie cookie dough sundae. I wasn't even tempted. Not even tempted to take a taste. And that totally stood out in my mind. Right there. That stood out in my mind. And I think it was because that stood out in my mind. Most everything else that he was talking about, even though I was hearing it, was going over top of my head because I was thinking about that. And then I'm reading through the comments, and one said they've been doing OMAD for 3 weeks and already lost 17 pounds. And I'd started OMAD like at the end of February or something like that, or maybe in March, somewhere around there, and that's all I've lost is 17 pounds. Now, I know we can't compare our weight loss to others. I know that, and so I'm not, okay? So I don't want you to get me wrong in that, and what I just said. I don't want you getting me wrong about that. But you know, when Monica was talking about body dysmorphia on Team Mon and Dave, she said it's real. The struggle is real. For me, the struggle is real concerning keeping things straight. I start to lose focus or or get turned around, and then I start to stumble. And that's with anything. It's not just the weight loss, but that's with anything. And I think that might have somewhat to do with how I lost focus on sticking straight with OMAD. Because seriously, before I stumbled with that candy on vacay, before I stumbled with it, and I was right on it. I was right on the OMAD. Wasn't eating until around 2:30. Wasn't eating afterwards. Able to go places and watch others eat, and I didn't have a problem about it. It was to the point I really didn't think about food. It has been such a stumble for me since the vacay. The few days that I got right back on, didn't think about food no more. I was deep into prayer and trusting God completely and totally. And that's when I lost over 2 pounds in 2 days. Well, I haven't let go of God, okay? I'm still talking to Him about my weight loss. But somewhere or another, I don't know. Somewhere or another, something isn't clicking. It's not clicking. Something's not clicking. But the one absolute thing that I forgot, and this is the best things that happens in a diet plan, whether it be OMAD or the Ray Down or anything that you might be doing that you experience, the best things I forget. And the one thing I forgot is how energetic and light I feel with just eating one meal. I'm walking, and I've even got my workout going on Under Armour. That way it's my distance and time is recorded. That way I get counted for that. But I also feel heavy. I don't like that feeling. I guess what it's coming down to is, with me watching the videos from C-Dub today and watching the one video from Stephen Raphael, the OMAD Diet Man, it's just reminded me how much I appreciate OMAD, how good OMAD makes me feel, and the long intermittent fasting hours. And as much as I want to believe that I'm doing right by going back to the Ray Down, I'm realizing really fast that I don't feel very good eating more than one meal a day. And not so much physically, but definitely mentally. Most of all, mentally. Now, in my video today, I said I'm sentimental and the nostalgia kicks in. Maybe in part that is. But for the bigger part, I really, truly like how I feel when I do OMAD. compared to any other weight loss method. I really and truly do. I'd also said today that if I happen to eat too little calories, or if I exercise excessively, that I'll eat again. I need to not do that because if by doing that, I open up the doorway for me to screw up. I need to just put in consideration of whether or not I worked out for the day and what I'm to eat. I'm so sorry that the past few videos have seemed differential and hypocritical. I'm sorry. And it has nothing to do with the scales, because, you know, like I'd said this morning, I'd lost some weight, and I know it was fluid retention. So it doesn't have anything to do with the scales. But it really, truly has everything to do with how I feel afterwards. I'm walking on a full stomach right now, and it's making it hard for me to breathe. That's how I used to feel when I was obese. Which, by the way, I looked at my BMI. I'm 29.4 now, so I'm happy about that. And I sure don't want that BMI to go back up. Not at all. So, I'm just going to have to put my nose to the grinding wheel, so to speak. Stop being a wimp. Stop trying to opt out. And just go right back with it. I don't want to backslide on this diet. I don't. I liked what I saw in the mirror this morning when I looked at my side view. I liked it. At least when I do OMAD, I know I've got a greater chance of continue losing this weight than I do if I turn around and eat again. And having peace of mind is so much better than worrying of whether or not I done it right. C-Dub has been really good to watch my videos and comment and encourage me and help me in areas that I question about on my videos. He's been really good about it, and I appreciate that, because honestly, out of all the OMADers out there, he's the only one. C-Dub is the only one who watches my videos and comments with encouragement to keep going. I appreciate him for that. He has said that the one thing he wants to do in his videos is to help others and encourage them. And he has been right there working with me since the very first time I experienced eating once for that day. He has been there since. Once again, this is another long video, and I am so sorry, guys. I guess I'm just so full of thoughts and heart these last couple videos, and I'm sorry. But basically, the reason why I'm doing a second video for my weight loss today is, one, I'm wanting to say I'm going to work hard to do OMAD again, because I like how I feel eating once a day over eating more than once. And two, to apologize to you guys for unintentionally lying. I thought that I would feel better mentally and physically by just eating when hungry, so therefore eating twice or 3 times a day, however many times I need to eat. But there was something else that Stephen Raphael had said in his video yesterday, that the body gets used to something and then it starts to tell you it wants more of that. So like if you eat at a certain time and then you eat again, it likes how that feels. It tells you it wants to do that again. But yet, everybody that I have watched, when they share their OMAD story, they say how that they don't think about food, they don't want food until that eating window opens up, and then they're hungry, and then after that they're fine. They don't want no more food, they don't need anything else for the rest of the day. They're great. I ask that you all be patient with me. And I would so very greatly appreciate you other OMADers commenting and urging me to go on. I would so greatly appreciate that, because we all need a little bit of a push and a boost, all of us. I love you guys, I really do. I'm going to fight this tooth and nail. I'm going to fight it tooth and nail. I really do like how it feels to do OMAD. I really do. I like the aftermath. I like the effects of long-houred intermittent fasting. So I'm going to fight this and just trust that God is guiding me to continue this way, and that I shouldn't stray, and just trust Him and know that He's got me, because He does. Anyway, guys, I love you so much. See you tomorrow.